Good morning friends, you are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are going to discuss India Yearbook 2022 written by GSSCO, in which we are going to discuss the land and people, chapter number 2. Physical features. The mainland comprises 4 regions, namely the Great Mountain Zone, plains of the Ganges and the Indus, desert region and the southern peninsula. The mountain wall extends over the distance of about 2,400 kilometers with the varying depth of 240 to 320 kilometers. In the east, between India and the Myanmar and India and Bangladesh, hill ranges are much lower. Garo, Khasi, Jayanti and Naga hills, running almost east-west, join the chains to Mizo, and Rakhine hills, running north-south. The plains of the Ganges and the Indus, about 2,400 km long and 240 to 320 km broad, are formed by basins of the 3 distinct river systems, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. The desert region can be divided into 2 parts, the Great Desert and the Little Desert. The Great Desert extends from the edges of the Run of Kutch beyond the Luni River northward. The whole of the Rajasthan-Sindh frontier runs through it. The Little Desert extends from the Luni between Jaisalmer and Jodhpur up to the northern west. The peninsular plateau is marked off from the plains of the Ganges and the Indus by a mass of mountain and hill ranges varying from 460 to 1220 meters in height. Prominent among these are the Aravalli, Vindhya, Satpura, Maekala and Ajanta. The southern point of the plateau is formed by the Nilgiri Hills where the eastern and the western Ghats meet. The Cardamom Hills lying beyond may be regarded as the continuation of the western Ghats. Let's discuss about the India at a glance. Geographical area 32,87,263 square kilometer, 7th largest country in the world. Latitude and longitude. The mainland extends between the latitude 8 degree 4 minutes and 37 degree 6 minutes north and longitude 68 degree 7 minutes and 97 degree 25 minutes east. Distance from north to south about 3,214 km between the extreme latitudes and about 2,933 km from the east to west between the extreme longitudes. Land frontier of about 15,200 kilometers and the total length of the coastline of the mainland, Lakshadweep Islands and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands is 7,516.6 kilometers. Bordering countries Afghanistan and Pakistan to the northwest, China, Bhutan and Nepal to the north, Myanmar to the far east and the Bangladesh to the east. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Pak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, divided into 6 zones, mainly north, south, east, west, central and northeast zones. And it has 28 states and 8 union territories. Let us discuss about the geographical structure. The geographical regions broadly follow the physical features and may be grouped into 3 regions: the Himalayas and their associated groups of mountains, the Indo-Gangetic Plains and the Peninsular Shield. The Himalayas mountains belt to the north and the Naga-Lushai mountains in the east are the regions of mountain building movement by compression of the sediment and basement rocks. The Indo-Ganga Plains are the great alluvial tract that separates the Himalayas in the north from the peninsula in the south. The peninsula is a region of relative stability and occasional seismic disturbances, igneous metamorph and Deccan trap forms. Notable passes: Jalepla and Nathula on the main Indo-Tibet trade route through the Chumbi Valley, northeast of Darjeeling, and Shipkila in the Satluj Valley, northeast of the Kalpa, that is Kinnaur. Notable passes are Jalepla and Nathula on the main Indo-Tibet trade route through the Chumbi Valley, northeast of Darjeeling, and Shipkila in the Satluj Valley, northeast of Kalpa Kinnor. Let us discuss about the river system. The river system of India can be classified into four groups: Himalayan rivers, Deccan rivers, coastal rivers, rivers of the inland drainage basin. Major rivers: Jammu and Kashmir, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, Beas. The Himalayan rivers are formed by melting snow and glaciers and therefore continuously flow throughout the year. The main Himalayan river system are those of the Indus and the Ganga Brahmaputra Meghna system. The Deccan rivers, on the other hand, are rain fed and therefore fluctuate in volume. Many of these are non perennial. In the Deccan region, most of the major river systems flowing generally in the east fall into Bay of Bengal. The major east flowing rivers are Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and Mahanadi. Narmada and Tapti are the major west flowing rivers. The Godavari in the northern peninsula has the second largest river basin, covering 10% of the area in India. The coastal streams, especially on the west coast, are short in length and having limited catchment areas. Most of them are non perennial. The streams of the inland drainage basin of western Rajasthan, few rivers in Rajasthan do not drain into the sea. These are Luni, Machu, Rupen, Saraswati, Banas, Ghaggar, and others. The entire country has been divided into 20 river basins groups of river basins comprising 12 major basins and 8 composite river basins. The 12 major river basins are Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, Pennar, Brahmani, Baitarni, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapti. Each of these basins has a drainage area extending 20,000 square kilometers. The 8 composite river basins combining suitably together all the other remaining medium drainage area of 2000 to 20,000 square kilometer and small river systems drainage area less than 2000 square kilometer of for the purpose of planning and management. Let us discuss the climate and seasons. The climate of India may be broadly described as tropical monsoon type. The Indian Meteorological Department (IMD) designates 4 official seasons: winter from December to early April, summer or pre-monsoon season lasting from April to June, April to July in northwestern India, monsoon or rainy season lasting from June to September. The season is dominated by the humid southwest summer monsoon. Post-monsoon season lasting from October to December. In northwestern India, October and November are usually cloudless. India's climate is affected by 2 seasonal winds, the northeast monsoon and the southwest monsoon. The northeast monsoon, commonly known as winter monsoon, blows from land to sea. The southwest monsoon brings most of the rainfall during the year in the country. Flora. India is rich in flora from about 70% geographical area surveyed. So far, over 46,000 species of plants have been described by the Botanical Survey of India BSI Kolkata. The vascular flora, which forms the conspicuous vegetation cover, comprises 15,000 species. India can be divided into 8 distinct floral regions, namely the Western Himalayas, the Eastern Himalayas, Assam and the Indus Plain, the Ganga Plain and the Deccan, the Malabar and the Andamanis. The Western Himalayas region extends from Kashmir to Kumaon. This temperate zone is rich in the forest of chir, pine, other conifers and broad-leaved temperate trees. Higher up, forest of deodar, blue pine, spruce, and silver fir occur. The eastern Himalayas region extends from Sikkim eastwards and embraces Darjeeling, Kurseong, and the adjacent tracts. The temperate zone has forests of oaks, laurels, maples, rhododendrons, alder, and birch. The Indus Plain region comprises the plains of Punjab, western Rajasthan, and northern Gujarat. It is dry, hot, and supports natural vegetation. The Ganga Plain region covers the area which is alluvial plain and is under cultivation for wheat, sugarcane, and rice. The Deccan region comprises the entire tableland of the Indian peninsula and supports vegetation of various kinds from shrub jungles to mixed deciduous forest. The Malabar region covers the excessively humid belt of mountain country parallel to the west coast of the peninsula. Besides being rich in forest vegetation, this region produces important commercial crops such as coconut, betel nut, pepper, coffee, tea, rubber, and cashew nut. That is cashew nut. The Malabar region covers the excessively humid belt of mountain country parallel to the west coast of the peninsula. Besides being rich in forest vegetation, this region produces important commercial crops such as coconut, betel nut, pepper, coffee, tea, rubber, and cashew nut. The Andaman region abounds in evergreen, mangrove, beech, and diluvial forest. Owing to destruction of forests for agriculture, industrial and urban development, several Indian plants are facing threat of extinction. About 1336 plant species are considered vulnerable and endangered. BSI Botanical Survey of India brings out an inventory of endangered plants in the form of a publication titled Red Data Book. Faunal resources. India is very rich in terms of biological diversity due to its unique biogeographical location, diversified climate conditions, and enormous ecodiversity and geodiversity. India's immense biological diversity encompasses ecosystems, populations, species, and their genetic makeup. According to Biogeographical Classification, according to World Biogeographical Classification, India represents two of major realms, the Palearctic and Indo-Malayan, and three biomes: tropical humid forest, tropical dry or deciduous forest, and warm deserts or semi-deserts. According to World Biogeographic Classification, India represents two of the major realms, the Palearctic and Indo-Malayan, and three biomes: tropical humid forest, tropical dry or deciduous forest, warm deserts or semi-deserts. The Wildlife Institute of India has proposed a modified classification which divides the country into 10 biogeographic regions: Trans-Himalayan, Himalayan, Indian Desert, Semi-Arid, Western Ghats, Deccan Peninsula, Gangetic Plains, Northeast India, Islands and Coast. With only about 2% of the world's total land surface, India is known to have over 7.5% of the species of animals that the world holds. Demographic background. Census 2011 was the 15th census of its kind since 1872. Population. The population of India as on March 1st, 2011 stood at 1210.9 million, that is 623.2 million males and 587.6 million females. Currently it is estimated at near 138 crores. India accounts for a meagre 2.4% of the world's surface area of 135.79 million square kilometer. Yet it sustains a whopping percent 17.7% of the world population. Population density. The population density of India in 2011 was 382 per square kilometer. Decadal growth 17.72%. The density of population increased in all states and union territories between 1991 to 2011. Among major states, Bihar is the most thickly populated state with a population density of 1,106 persons per square kilometer, followed by West Bengal, 1,028, and Kerala 860. Sex ratio. Sex ratio, defined as the number of females per thousand males, is an important social indicator to measure the extent of prevailing equality between males and the females in a society at a given point of time. The sex ratio in the country has always remained unfavorable to females. As per the Census 2011, the sex ratio in India is 943 per thousand males, which were 933 in the previous Census 2001. Child sex ratio has declined to 919 per thousand male. For the purpose of Census 2011, a person aged 7 and above who can both read and write with the understanding in any language is treated as literate. The literacy rate in the country is 73%, 80.9 for males and 64.6 for females. Kerala retained its position by being on top with a 94% literacy rate, closely followed by Lakshadweep, 91.9%. Bihar, with a literacy rate of 61.8%, ranks last in the country. Bihar has recorded the lowest literacy rates both in case of males 71.2% and females 51.5%. Migration. Census of India records migration by two methods, namely place of last residence and place of birth. About 455.8 million people were treated as migrants by place of last residence. 141.9 million were considered to be migrants between the period 2001 and 2011, and a major chunk of the migrants in India, 84.8%, in the period 2001 to 2011 were within the state of enumeration. Only 15.6% of migrants were considered interstate migrants. Similarly, within the states or union territories, 64.9% of the migrants in the period 2001 to 2011 happened within the district of enumeration, and the rest 35.1% migrants were inter-district migrants. Similarly, within the states or union territories, 64.9% of the migrants in the period of 2001 to 2011 happened within the district of enumeration, and the rest 35.1% migrants were inter-district migrants. Fertility and the mortality rates. A TFR, total fertility rates, of about 2.1 children per woman is called replacement level fertility. From a TFR of 2.6 in 2008 to 2.2 in 2018, India has gradually moved towards achieving the replacement level of fertility. Crude birth rate (CBR) in India has reached 19.7 per thousand population in 2019. Crude death rate. The crude death rate for India in 2019 was 6 per thousand population, gradually down from 7.3 in 2009. Infant mortality rate. India has been able to drastically reduce the infant mortality rate from 50 in 2009 to 30 in 2019. The Republic of India has several official nation symbols. These symbols are intrinsic to the Indian identity and heritage. These are discussed as follows. National flag. Features. The national flag is a horizontal tricolor of deep saffron kesaria at the top, white and blue at the middle, and the dark green at the bottom in equal proportion. The ratio of width of the flag to its length is 2:3. In the center of the white band is a navy blue wheel which represents the chakra. Its design is that of the wheel which appears on the abacus of the Sarnath line capital of Ashoka. Its diameter approximates to the width of the wide band and it has 24 spokes. The design of the national flag was adopted by the Constituent Assembly of India on July 22, 1947. The flag is based on the Swaraj flag, a flag of the Indian National Congress designed by Pingali Venkaiah. Constitutional and statutory provisions related to the national flag. Article 51A, Clause A. To abide the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. Statutes governing use of flag. Statutes governing use of flag. Emblems and names. Prevention of Improper Use Act 1950. Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. Flag Code of India 2002. There is no restriction on the display of the national flag by members of general public, private organization, educational institutions, etc., except as provided for by the above statutes. Half mast. The flag should be flown at our mast as a sign of mourning. The decision to do so lies with the President of India, who also decides the period of such mourning. Significance. As clarified by the Sarpalli Radhakrishnan, its significance is as follows. The saffron color denotes renunciation or disinterestedness. Renunciation and disinterestedness. The white in the center is light, the path of the truth to guide our conduct. The green shows our relation to the soil, our relation to the plant life here, on which all other life depends. And the Ashok Chakra is the wheel of the law of Dharma. State emblem features adapted from the Sarnath line capital of Ashoka. It is carved out of a single block of polished sandstone. The capital is crowned by the wheel of the law. In the state emblem adopted by the Government of India by Madhav Savane in 1950 on January 26, 1950, only 3 lines are visible. The wheel appears in the center of the abacus with a bull on right and the horse on left. The outlines of the other wheels on extreme right and left, the bell-shaped lotus has been omitted. The words Satyamev Jayate from Mundaka Upanishad, meaning truth alone triumphs, are inscribed below the abacus in Devanagari script. The use of the state emblem as the official seal of the Government of India is regulated by the State of India Prohibition of Improper Use Act 2005. No individual or private organization is permitted to use the emblem for official correspondence. National Anthem. The song Jana Gana Mana, composed originally in Bengali by Rabindranath Tagore, was adopted in its Hindi version as the National Anthem of India on January 24, 1950. First sung on December 27, 1911 at the Kolkata session of the Indian National Congress. The duration of the national anthem is approximately 52 seconds. National song, the song Vande Mataram, composed in Sanskrit by Bankim Chand Chatterjee, was a source of inspiration to the people in their struggle for freedom. It has an equal status with Jana Gana Mana. It was first sung at the 1896 session of the Indian National Congress. National calendar. The national calendar based on the Shak era with the Chaitra as its first month and a normal year of 365 days was adopted from March 22, 1957 along with the Georgian calendar for Gazette of India. National calendar. The national calendar based on the Shaka era with Chaitra as its first month and the normal year of 365 days was adopted from the March 22, 1957 along with the Gregorian calendar for first is Gazette of India, second news broadcast by All India Radio, third calendars issued by the Government of India, fourth government communication addressed to the public. Dates of the national calendar have a permanent correspondence with dates of the Gregorian calendar, first Chaitra falling on March 22 normally and on March 21 in leap year. Other national symbols, national flower Indian lotus, Nilambu nucifera, that is the biological name, Nilambu nucifera. National fruit mango, Magnifera indica. National river Ganga. National tree Indian banyan. Ficus bengalensis. Bengalensis. National animal Royal Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris. Indian aquatic animal Gangetic dolphin, Platanista gangetica. Platanista gangetica. National bird Indian peacock, Pavo cristatus. Indian currency, national currency Indian rupee, sign rupee INR. Thank you very much.